Here we go.
You're tuning in to Will Love Listen. Now listen.
John Dela Cruz, aka Nurse John. It's great to speak with you today.
Me too, and thank you for having me. It is a pleasure. I'm super excited for this interview.
Yeah, thanks for joining me today. I'm glad we were able to make it work out. And you're coming to my area soon, later this fall. So we have to get into like the tour of the show, all of that. But first, I want to discuss your background actually. I want to know like where did you grow up, what your younger days were like, and then ultimately how you got into nursing.
How I got, oh God, I love this. A little throwback into my childhood days. Well, I grew up in the Philippines. I've lived in the Philippines for 17 years of my life, so really that's where I'd spend most of my life. And then when I turned 17, I moved to Canada with my mom. She's a single mom, and she got me into Canada. We had a permanent residency, and for after 5 years, we got our Canadian citizenship. And the reason why I got into nursing was really because of my grandpa who had Alzheimer's disease and stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh,
So
wow.
before I migrated to Canada, we had to take care of my grandpa. It was very unknown to us that he was suffering cancer. The only way I figured that out is because I'm seeing symptoms of it, which I did not know was the symptoms before because I was just 14, 15 during those times. And it, it only was diagnosed when it was late stage cancer. And so it was really hard for me to see my grandpa suffer at home because the doctor gave him 6 months to live and it was very tragic for the family. And so we had to kind of be the nurse at home for him because really there's nothing else for the hospital to do for him because it was the end of life for him. And I just felt so much grief and I guess being powerless to not be able to do anything to his situation. So I promised myself that if I'm going to do something in my life, I want to be like a nurse or someone who can take care of another family who might be going through the same thing as I was and my family was going through, so I can provide them the help that I wish I could have given to my grandpa. And
Yeah.
the only profession that I can think of was nursing. And so I pursue nursing with the inspiration of helping other people through the things that I've been through with my grandpa.
Wow, that's such an interesting story. I mean, it's sad, but at the same time, it's motivational, you know?
Very motivational. I mean, I know he's very happy looking down on me right now, seeing what I'm doing, and I know, my grandpa has been the most selfless person. I would call him a nurse because he always helps everyone in the community back home, and so I just know he's very proud of me.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good example of like using like trials and tribulations to like, as motivation.
Exactly.
And it's really what started your career. So now you're in nursing. Talk a little bit about like your early years in nursing and then ultimately how it segued into your huge comedy career.
So nursing was a very difficult profession to get into, honestly. At first, I thought it's gonna be easy because it's science, but it's more than just science. It's more of like becoming within yourself a nurse. I
Yeah.
thought it's just studying, memorizing things, but really it's embodying being a nurse inside and outside. And so my early years of nursing, it was a struggle. It was a lot of hardship. There are days that I wanted to give up really because I questioned myself so many times of, am I really made to be a nurse? Can I really do this? Can I really take care of other people and put them in my own hands? And so it was a struggle. Then 2020, fast forward in 2020 when I started my first ever nursing job, that was the first ever day too that COVID became a pandemic and
No,
considered
really?
it was.
What are
And
the odds?
my first ever day in my unit was the day they said lockdown. And so for me, it was shocking, but at the same
The
time, it was
real question
exciting
is
for me
then.
because it felt like Grey's Anatomy. It
Yeah.
felt like that one season of Grey's Anatomy where they had a whole pandemic situation and everything. It was chaotic, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can put in my skills and things I've learned in nursing." It excites me in the beginning, but progressing into it and realizing how tough it is, I have not seen that much death that's in my life and the struggle of providing care to patients who are ill and not being able to give them the comfort of family and being with their loved ones because during COVID, everything is quarantined, right?
Yeah. And
And
they're so
exactly the
strict.
same thing for me
Yeah.
where I cannot be with my family. I was stuck. I was forced to I was jailed up in the hospital because you cannot go home and infect your families, and everything is so uncertain those times. And so it was a struggle. It was a lot of really imposter syndrome of like, wow, did I really just put myself in this situation? But what motivates me was my patience, really like the love they showed me, the appreciation and being able to get them out of the hospital brings me the light and the love for the profession. But that also was the reason why I burnt out, because I keep telling myself, hey, it doesn't matter you're tired, at least you're making someone happy, you're healing someone. But that was almost like a toxic positive mindset that brought me into burnout, and I would have days at work where I'm having mental breakdowns, crying in the bathroom, losing it, and I cannot show it to anyone because you're a nurse, right? You gotta be this strong persona everywhere. And that's the same time to the TikTok kind of like emerged as a new platform where people are dancing, people are showing their lives. And so I filmed myself one time in our locker room because I was having my 15-minute break and I was having a mental breakdown before I filmed myself. And I just wanted that video to be my own, like my own video to show to myself and my friends. But we had a cardiac arrest in the other room, so I had to run and get to that and help out. And that video got posted on TikTok. Like butt dial posted on TikTok, and the next day it gathered millions of views. And my
Wow.
family mem my friends or family was calling and texting me. They're like, John, did you see your face on the news? I was like, what did I do? Like, what's going on? They're like, no, you went viral. I was like, viral? Like virus, like viral, like COVID viral? They're like, no, your video went viral. And so the first thing I did was jump onto TikTok and saw millions of comments and views from people, and I was like, wow, this is overwhelming. And then from there, things just kind of became a domino effect of me realizing like, oh my God, this feels good. It feels like a community of people who are understanding exactly what I'm going through, and I feel like I'm giving them something to relate to and to
Yeah.
laugh about. I was like, my demise was their happiness, but hey, I'm making other nurses happy around the world, and they're like sending love from Africa. I just went through this. I just had a mental breakdown. I love this so much. Thank you for showing the world the truth that we're living that they don't see, because all they see is you sitting down on a chair and typing stuff and running around, but they don't really know the crazy stuff that we deal with behind the curtain.
Yeah, on
And
a
so I
regular
was like, you know
basis.
what?
Yeah.
I'll keep doing this because I'm making a positive impact and change in healthcare for myself and for the people who are doing the same job as me.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I mean, I just think that's traumatic enough. Like,
Traumatic. It's trauma bonding.
yeah. I mean, just alone having your first day of nursing be when the pandemic officially started, you couldn't have asked for like a more challenging experience.
That was it. That
But
was it
I mean,
was.
it's funny how like life works out. The situation with your grandfather motivated you to get into the field. Your first day on the job is when the pandemic starts, and that like I'm sure tests you really like personally and professionally because of what you had to
Oh wow.
endure.
Absolutely. It was such a challenge to be in that position. It was a lot, again, of contemplating within myself and questioning my own abilities and my own choices of like, did I really made the right choice or am I just tired? You know what
Yeah,
I
because
mean?
like you get in the field to help people, but then during the pandemic, everyone was so isolated, and like all these people that were struggling, you couldn't really like be there for you as you normally would.
Hmm.
So that was a lot. But then at the same time, you went viral, and now look at you. Your Instagram over 4 million followers.
Yeah, I think I built a community of healthcare workers and people in customer service who are now a family to me. I call them my besties because it feels like a therapy for us to just, really relive the experience that we've just experienced from a shift and kind of like laugh about it because I keep telling them, I was like, listen, we cannot keep crying every single time. We will lose it and we will not be sane. And so sometimes we just gotta laugh it off and realize that there's millions of other people just going through the same thing and you're not alone in this journey.
Yeah, and what I like is you kind of parody every situation. And I think it's not isolated to like one sort of like style of humor or like, you know,
Exactly. And that's why, when I started really on diving into content creation and really doing skits and providing all this kind of entertainment to people, for me, it's more of like, how can I expand my creativity so I can reach more people so that more people can feel related to something? And I was like, first thing I did was fill my cart of Amazon of wigs, scrubs, everything that could represent every single generation of people in the most possible way I can. Because I was like, listen, it can be just one thing. It gotta be everyone feels like that's me. No, that's me. Wait, both of that person is me in two
yeah.
different people. And so I was like, you know what? This is fun.
Yeah, no, it is very funny. And was there like once you started to go viral, was there like a certain method that you used to establish like a strong, dedicated audience?
Yes, I think for me, I analyze really my f- my community's reaction to any videos I do. I've experimented through audio, which is lip syncing, and through skits. Lip syncing is fun because it's a quick, almost like how TikTok is, it's a three
Oh yeah.
second kind of video. But skits are harder because it's almost like filming and acting at the same time. And what I realize is skits is more realistic because you are actually embodying a situation and there's a conversation between people, which is all me at the same time, but it gives people some sort of like, it's almost like a quick series of episodes of things. It's almost like watching a Netflix show.
Yeah.
But then every single episode has different kind of situation that happens in the hospital. And I think that's what we love. It's like you get to be excited of what's the next thing that John is going to make tomorrow. Is it the patient climbing on the ceiling or is it the patient running naked on the hallway? It's like it gets people interested and it hooks them, and I think that's how my community became so big is because it's almost like what they always say. It's like everybody quiet, my show is on.
Yeah.
And so that's how the community got really big.
Yeah, because it's so impressive because like at what point now you're not a full-time RN anymore because
No,
of
so I
everything going
stopped,
on.
yeah, I
So at
stopped teaching. Yeah.
what point did the comedy career take off that you were like, all right, this is can't be my full-time gig anymore?
Right. So everything really did take off. So for me, nursing is the profession that I always will do. And honestly, if I retired from entertainment industry, I will go back to nursing.
Yeah.
I didn't trust the process of really just jumping into like social media and going full time with it for almost 3.5 years because I told myself, listen, yes, I get to monetize. Yes, I get to make some extra income from this. And yes, this is like fun, but I'm not leaving a job that is something I enjoy and love until something concrete from social media really gives me the reassurance that I can quit a job that I love and focus on something that's another thing, which is for me honestly entertainment industry is super new. I'd not done this. This is not something I went to school for. I didn't go to theater. This is all just mentally ill humor kind of persona. And so 3.5 years later, things just got wild, from 1 million followers on TikTok to 7.4 million now. And then Instagram went wild too, and Facebook and YouTube, everything is on millions. And so I'm getting a lot of like help from my social media friends that I also built throughout time. And they're like, hey, you need a manager, you need someone who can work with you. And so one of my closest friends in social media had a manager, which is she's with us right now, Logan. And she's like, hey, listen, you might need someone to help you with your social media so that you can expand more and do more things. And so I started working with Logan, and that's when things and opportunities just starts rolling in. And we got this opportunity of like, hey, would you like to do stand-up comedy? Like go on stage and maybe perform and translate your videos into something that's more live. And I was like, all right, never done that before, but we could try. And so we did that, and for some reason, everything just went crazy again. And so that's when I told myself, hey, I'm gonna focus in this part of my new career. I know nursing will always be there for me, but this is also nursing for me because I'm making people happy and making those people are the people helping the community. If I can make them happy, they can go back to their workplace and be happy and less burnout and stressed out.
Yeah. No, it's so you played it smart, honestly, because you're in the middle of the pandemic, you start going viral, but you didn't jump the gun and be like, all right, I'm leaving nursing. This is going to be my full-time career. You juggled both until it was probably a safer bet where you're like, okay, I could make more income here long term. So let me finally opt to get a manager now, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Exactly. It took a lot of time and really like a reassurance for my own self to even say like, hey, I'm quitting a job or I'm putting it on pause
yeah.
because I'm doing
Oh,
something that is another type of job. It took a long time.
yeah, now and that it's an interesting you're a good example because there's some critics with nurse influencing that are like, oh, they're a nurse for 6 months and then they become an influencer. But like your situation is you were practicing for like quite some time as you became viral. You didn't like give up your
Very long time. I didn't quit nursing. Again, for me, I have not been in the entertainment industry. Again, this is not something that I was
put out
hoping to
or
get into. Like, I wasn't like, I'm gonna be an influencer no matter what. For me, it was a sudden, I guess, star moment that, became something that is positive. Again, if this was just for fun and just to do something else, I wouldn't have pursued it. But for me, it's the impact that it has to the people
the
that
workers.
makes
Yeah.
me want to keep doing it. Even though I love my job and honestly, like I would keep working as a nurse if I have the capacity. But I was suggested by my teams like you cannot do that. You'll die.
Yeah, you'll burn out. Yeah.
And that's why like I didn't even quit right away from the profession because after leaving the ER, I started teaching because I just find like I'm missing a part of me if I don't have nursing with me. And so I applied to be a professor in a university to teach nursing students. So I was doing that for 8 months until I finally decided that, okay, I think this is the point where I can really say that I can put my profession on pause for now and focus on this one and come back to it when I'm ready again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you have the education, the experience, you could always come back to it. And doing what you're doing now, it's like a once in a lifetime experience. You know what I mean? You
That's
can't
the
give
thing too. It's
that
like
up.
I was like, you know what? It's in my table right now. I don't think this turkey will be put in my table again. So let me eat the turkey for now.
Yeah, like you have to roll with it. And like
Exactly.
you have like loyal healthcare fans. Like they come out in droves, like people get dressed up. That has to be such like a powerful experience when you're on stage. That's probably like it sets the energy for the evening.
It is. It is. It gives me so much gratefulness for what I'm doing right now, which, reassures me that I'm in the right path. Because, there are times that I question myself. I was like, did I just really leave my profession that I went to school for 5 years to do this? Because for me, still, I have the imposter syndrome of like, why did I do this? Why
Yeah.
did I quit a job that I love and I actually do care about for this? But then, like you said, like seeing people drive from really far places, like one of the farthest I've heard was 14 hours of drive. They had to drive 3 days before the show and stay on like hotels and everything to make it to the show because I am not going to their area or city. So they're
Yeah.
like, we're not missing a chance to not see you, so we will drive. And it doesn't matter because I'm with the people that I work with that I love, and we had such a fun time together in the car. Or like you know, grandmas who's in their 80s and they're like, "Hey, I've been a nurse for 65 years." I was like, "Why are you here?" She's like, "Well, you bring me so much joy." And I was like, "Oh my God, that makes me feel so good. My heart is full when I hear those things."
Yeah. Oh no, that's so nice.
It is.
Yeah, and it's like it probably is like, okay, this is why I do this.
Exactly. It gives me the motivation to keep doing it because there is something positive, a good impact that I'm doing.
Now, on this current tour, what could fans expect? Like, what are you going to be doing on stage? What topics are going to be discussed, etc.?
Right. So the funny thing about my tour and my comedy, my stand-up comedy is I'm so theatrical that I'm not really the traditional stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
My set of comedy has changed drastically from when I started to now. Now there's a lot of people participation, people getting on stage, me conversing with people, acting, singing, dancing. I'm doing every single thing. It's almost like going to a play, a musical,
Yeah.
but you're getting the stand-up comedy part. And so I keep telling them, I was like, every single show is a surprise because there is always an element that is new that I always add to it. So I know New York have seen me perform there last year, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But I told them I was like, I'm coming back, and it's gonna be even more funnier and way better than when I was there the first time.
Yeah, I'll be at that. I'll be at that show. So,
Oh my God, Will, that's so exciting! I cannot wait for you to see the show. You would love it.
yeah, yeah, we have to get like a photo or something backstage before
Absolutely. Oh my God. Leave your details to my manager, Logan, and we will meet after the show and you tell me how you feel about it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll love it because I already watch your stuff on
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
and I feel like ever since the pandemic, like you mentioned, over the past 5 years, nurse influencing wasn't really a thing, but now it is. So
Right.
it's a hot topic amongst the medical community. A lot of people love it, but of course, like I said, you have healthcare haters within your own community. So, sort of a two-part question. How do you handle people in the medical field who criticize you and what you do?
Right.
And at the same time, do you feel competition amongst other like nurse influencers?
Right. So let's start with people who might not like medical people in the social media
Yeah.
world. So I always tell people is that I think social media is such a powerful tool, but it can also be destructive. But it really depends on the person or the creator who's using the platform and how they really want that platform to be. My platform has always been positivity, community, and togetherness and laughter. That's always has been my goal. And so for me, and I always tell my friends who's also in social media, is that you cannot please everybody
Yeah.
and you can only focus on the people who are pleased and happy with the things that you do. Because I do believe that not like in this world, no matter how good you are as a person, there is always going to be someone who doesn't like you for no reason. And
Yeah.
that's completely fine because not everybody eats apple and that's fine. And so you just focus on the people that you impact positively and forget the ones who are not happy with what you're doing.
Yeah. Because they'll
And
never be.
what exactly? And what I always tell them is like being a medical influencer or nursing influencer, it's always being mindful of the things that you're posting and doing. And if you're in comedy in nursing influencing world, it's being mindful of the fact that when you make this content, when you produce this content, when you make these scenarios and stories that happens to your shift or your life, it's always about making fun of yourself instead of making fun of the people that you're taking care with because yes, you can show them exactly what happened to them or the crazy stuff that they do, but it always should come back to you're the one who experienced it and you're the one making fun of because this is your content. We're
Yeah.
not supposed to be laughing about your patient. We should be laughing about the experience you've experienced from your patient. And
Yeah.
yes, they would laugh about a patient, spreading poop on a wall, but at the end of the day, you're the one cleaning that poop on the wall, and that's even funnier because again, they're not in control of themselves, but you are, and you gotta
Yeah.
suffer through that. And that's, I think, what people have appreciated for the past 4.5 years with my content is that it's never ever bringing down anyone or stepping on someone else's foot. It's always uplifting people and making people known of our struggle and their struggle as patients.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. And you raised a good point. And it kind of reminds me of and he's actually come on the show like a while back. But Nurse Blake, his humor is kind of like that, where he kind of and sometimes he comes under fire for it, for like criticizing the patients, you know what I mean?
Right, right. I think it's really just getting, there's a lot of us now who's in the space, which I'm really, really proud of. And I'm so happy that there's a lot of us now showing different aspect of
Aspects, yeah.
nursing in different type of, areas. And what I always tell people is that there's always more place for more medical influencers in this category because I feel like, we should all have the freedom to express ourselves in our story, and those stories can impact more people. So that's just fun.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Yeah. And do you ever feel like there's like competition in your own nurse?
I don't think so. For me, I've always believed and I always see things in a way that I feel like this space should never be a competition, but more so a space when we can all gather and be one together because we all have one goal.
Yeah.
So I have me and I have 400 to 1,000 other medical influencer and nursing influencer. There should not be like, why are you in the same space as me? It's more of like, welcome to the space. Here's a few things you have to know so you can keep doing this. If you need anyone to be guiding you or to be friends with someone that's doing the same exact thing as you, let's be friends. And I have made that throughout my career in social media of people that I met throughout, and I honestly share to them the success that I have because again, for me, my success is because of the people that's been supporting me, so I can also share that to others who wants to be that. And I'm just happy to be able to see that from other people and other influencers.
Yeah, that's good that you don't really like fall into like that infight.
No, there's really never I've always given space for other people to grow in such space. Like there are friends that I have and they're like, "Hey, I've been in a brain rot stuck here. I don't even know what kind of content I'm gonna make." I was like, "You can use my content freely, and I'm giving you the permission to do that because I was like my experience in nursing isn't isolated. The reason why people watches our video is because we can all relate to the same exact thing. So you recreating my video doesn't make me any feel less than because my experience and your experience are the same. And we we could all do everything together.
Yeah. Now, what are there any I guess what do you think are like the more integral issues facing like the healthcare and nursing community today?
I think right now really what we are being challenged of is our science because there's a lot of misinformation going on with science in this current
Yeah,
like
I could
economy and era that we're at, and it's just hard for us nurses to be able to be accountable and seen by people in public as people who are healers because now
yeah,
we
like
get
there's
questions of the things that we do when they shouldn't be questioning us in that way of like in many different aspects, and so it's just hard. And I think that's why social media is so impactful because we can actually illustrate and show people the truth if science is being questioned through humor and through like storytelling.
yeah,
Because the video has coming out right there of people sharing the experience in nursing, medicine, or anything else. It brings people some light and some reassurance that hey, we're here to help you. We're not poisoning you. We're not doing anything to make you unwell. We are here to advocate and be there for you. So trust us more than anything else that you hear outside of this.
yeah, no, that's a good point because I feel like with all everything going on, that there's less of a respect for nurses.
And that's kind of is the struggle too, is that I think we were so respected at the beginning of the pandemic and throughout of it. And once the pandemic was gone, we're back in the trenches of just like I don't know why I'm waiting 24 hours, 48 hours here in the triage, waiting for nurses. What the hell are you guys doing? You guys are sitting down doing nothing. It wasn't our fault.
Yeah.
Ask the people higher up to us why
Higher.
they don't give us the support that
That's
we need so we can actually help people.
yeah, I think that's what you said is so like important for people to realize that
Very
like
much.
you're not the you guys are the ones doing all the work and getting the least money compared and a majority of the money goes to the people at the top. So if there's certain
Absolutely.
rules and regulations, it's really those up top that are calling the shots. So I feel like
Right.
there's a lot of misguided anger and it should be really directed at like the
Right. And I
CEOs and the people.
guess
Yeah.
exactly. And I think it's misguided anger because we are the one physically present in there. And so they don't have any avenues to kind of like let out their feelings and express how they feel. But we tell them, we're like, listen, we're human beings too. Outside of the scrubs, you'll see me walk down the street and we have the same exact life. But one thing I will never do is mistreat the people that I'm asking to help me because how do you want us to help you when you cannot respect us and give us the ability to help you?
Yeah.
And so we always tell that to to everyone.
It's an interesting world, isn't it?
Very, very
Today.
interesting world.
But this has been such a good conversation. I'm looking forward to your show. I'm really looking forward to meeting you too.
Oh my God, me too. I cannot wait for you to see the show. It's been such a roller coaster, and at the same time, it's the New York Comedy Festival, so it's gonna be big. It's gonna be star-studded, and so I cannot wait for you to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I was at the New York Comedy Festival last year, so
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
looking forward to being there again. And I feel like whenever it's like festival week, everyone's like even more pumped for it.
oh my God, absolutely. I love comedy festivals. It's like a week of just laughter and having fun.
Do you have any like special surprises you're gonna pull out?
Yes, I cannot mention them, but there's gonna be surprises because that's always been the case for all the shows, that there's always something new and different and something they don't expect that's gonna come out, or, something new that I've been thinking and writing for the past few weeks and months.
All right. Well, this has been fun. We'll stay in touch, and
Thank
when
you
everything
so
comes
much.
out, I'm gonna blow up your notifications because I'm gonna like tag you and invite you to be a collaborator, all that.
Absolutely, please do.
All
I'll
right.
get into that. Thank you so much, Will.
Amazing. Thank you, Will.
Thank you.